Welcome to the Pulse with Peter B. I'm your host, Peter Biancamano. Let's get you to the pulse on everything you need to know. And as we mentioned on our social media platforms earlier this week, we have a bunch of Pulse premieres, beginning with the lovely Rachel Hodes, who is the chairwoman of the Hoboken Democratic Committee. Rachel, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great, and we're so excited to have you on because we know that you guys don't do too many interviews, and we're humbled to have you on. And just for full disclaimer, I am a Democratic Committee man in town. I'm a proud Democratic Committee person in town. I was proud to support Rachel's nomination and therefore her chairwomanship, and I think you're doing a phenomenal job so
Thank
far.
you. Thank you. We're really grateful for you on the committee also, Peter.
Great. Thank you. So, Rachel, it's really, I think, the Democratic Party, especially after President Trump's victory now 4 years ago already, it kind of ignited the Democratic stronghold of Hudson County, would you say, the deep blue county that we live in. And do you think that the party has built on his victory 4 years ago?
Sure. I don't want to say it was a silver lining to his election, but it was a silver lining to his election in that many people who had not been involved in politics or elected office or even in their communities decided to get involved because of that. And so I ran after President Trump's election almost 4 years ago now, yeah. And
Time flies.
Exactly. Like, I can't even believe it. But we were part of a group of a whole groundswell of people who had never run for elected office before, never volunteered for anything before. And I think what we've seen is a much more diverse coalition of people coming from all parts of the Democratic Party to really build a strong hold here in Hoboken.
That's fantastic. It really is. Now, you really see the leader's true colors in a pandemic as what's going on the last 6 weeks now or however long it's been. And, I clearly see a difference between watching a Governor Murphy or a Governor Cuomo press conference as compared to a President Trump press conference.
Absolutely.
I mean, could we start calling him President Cuomo? But I know we joked around about that in our last committee meeting we had the other night.
Yeah.
But I mean, it just goes to show you the level of differences among the elected leaders, correct?
Absolutely. And I think what we've seen is a real expression of leadership from our Democratic leaders. I think from here in New Jersey, from our senators, from Senator Menendez being one of the sponsors of the fourth stimulus bill, to Senator Booker working with the Bureau of Prisons to make sure that people who are who are incarcerated are still getting their civil rights even while being socially distanced. We see it on the state level. Our state senator Stack sponsored a bill that had $100 million in rent relief. Our local assemblywoman Annette Shapiro was one of the co-sponsors on a bill that expanded paid leave for government workers who had tested positive for coronavirus. So I think we're seeing up and down Democratic leaders show up for people in this crisis in a way that we can be really proud of.
I mean, absolutely. And it's invigorating the base, I believe. I mean, where you don't see the presumptive Democratic nominee Joe Biden on TV so much anymore because of everything going on. It's nice to see that at least the Democratic base have a Governor Cuomo or a Governor Murphy or people you mentioned step up to the plate in a crisis like this. And why don't we get to the presidential race? Because there is still a presidential race only 5 months away.
Crazy to believe that's still happening, right?
Exactly. And we do have a presumptive Democratic nominee in former Vice President Joe Biden.
Sure.
I mean, my question to you is, because of course you have the Sanders supporters out there who would say that, the Bernie bros, as they like to call themselves, who would say that, Joe Biden is part of the problem, really, and that he doesn't represent us Bernie Sanders supporters, as Republicans would say, the far left people and so on and so forth. I mean, you in a position that you're in as the chairwoman of the Hoboken Democratic Party, what do you have to say to a lot of those Bernie supporters that might be here in Hoboken?
Sure. First, I would say that the presidential primary was a marathon that we all participated in, and some of us are still recovering from it. So, even though at the end of it, it was really coming down to Biden or Bernie, Senator Sanders, we need to work to build a coalition of people who supported all of the, 24 candidates that the Biden campaign, I think, really needs to work on bringing those folks in and building a coalition. And I think we've seen some of that since Vice President Biden became the presumptive nominee. He did the next day or 2 days later, he did a Facebook Live with Senator Sanders, who asked him flat out about minimum wage. And Vice President Biden committed to working to raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour. I think that's an indication that there are many issues that are
can be ironed out.
Exactly, and can be areas of agreement. And I think, one of our committeemen said to me the other day that one of the ways that the Biden campaign can really extend an olive branch to the Sanders campaign is working with some of the surrogates and the policy advisors to ensure that a Biden presidency is reflective of where the party is as a whole.
Right. Super, super important. It really is. Now, one of the things that's interesting is, of course, it's not life as we know it right now.
Sure.
The primary, which is normally held in New Jersey, the first Tuesday in June, is now going to be the first Tuesday in July.
Correct.
Which is July 7th, I believe.
Correct.
And one of the things that is being spoke about greatly is vote by mail. Should this be a vote by mail election? Because we don't know how the pandemic will be affecting us in July. I mean, July is only a few months away, although it's like 40 degrees out here right now. July,
you
to
would
get
never
the nice
know
weather.
that.
Exactly. Is the Hoboken Democratic Committee taking steps in pushing our legislators to possibly have the New Jersey primary be all vote by mail?
That's a great question. We had a very robust discussion at our committee meeting the other night, and this was one of the biggest topics. And I think it's very front of mind for people about health concerns, not just for people going to vote, but for our poll workers. A lot of our poll workers are in the high risk category and are over the age of 16. We want to make sure that they're taken care of as well. So I think regardless of where the state decides to go in terms of the primary in July, we need to work on expanding vote by mail access. What that means is sharing information, making sure people have their questions answered, making sure that people know that's an option, and doing this early, as your fellow committeewoman said the other night, doing this early so that our local election offices know what capacity they need in order to deal with an increased vote by mail election.
And kudos to Inez Garcia-Kime, by the way. Inez, we love you.
Yeah. It was her idea.
And really quickly, New Jersey is ahead of the curve when it comes to vote by mail. It's so easy to get a ballot these days, to fill out an application. You don't even need a reason for it like other states.
Absolutely not. And you just need to send it in by the deadline, which it is a few days before the actual primary, but you don't have to qualify why you need one.
That's fantastic. Well, we have about a minute left in the segment, Rachel, and I have to ask you, I'm going to put your back against the wall. We like doing that here on the Post. and that's let's go back and talk about the presidential race here.
Sure.
What does Joe Biden or the Biden supporters, Vice President Biden, have to do to become President Biden in a few short months here?
That's a good question. I think wow, so many things I could say right now, and we have so little time.
Exactly.
I think the first thing really is going back to coalition building. People have whiplash from this election, and really things changed so quickly. Their candidate dropped out. Their policies weren't being talked about anymore. And I think the Biden campaign really needs to work on building that coalition and making sure that all Democrats feel at home in that campaign. I've seen indications of it, but I think there is more work to be done. And then I think it's about crafting a narrative and a story that really shows people the role of government for them in their lives as a safety net, as taking care of them when they're in need, and really putting systems into place that are there to help us when situations like this come about. So I think the Democrats have a huge opportunity right now. This is totally in line with who we are and what our values are. And I think we have a really important narrative to share right now.
Fantastic. Well, Rachel Hodes, we're so happy. Hopefully you can come on maybe in the future again. I mean,
I would love to. I would love to. You're the first person I put on pants with a button for in 6 weeks. So.
Jason, I am humbled. All right, Rachel Hodes, chairwoman of the Hoboken Democratic Committee, doing a fine job, and I look forward to seeing you at the next meeting.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Folks, when we come back, we have another Pulse premiere. You're not going to want to miss it. We'll be back. Peter Biancamano, your hostess with the mostest of the Pulse with Peter B. Folks, don't forget to go on our Facebook page by typing in the Pulse with Peter B in your search bar and like and follow us there. We're constantly updating that page, and you're not going to want to miss any new information, especially when we're not filming. And also, for all you grammars out there, follow us at our Instagram page at the Pulse with Peter B. We'll see you soon. Welcome back to the Pulse with Peter B. I'm your host, Peter Biancamano, and I have to tell you, this is another premiere that I am really excited for, and that is local comedian Doug Caffron joins us. Doug, what's going on, my man?
Oh, nothing much, man. I feel great. I built a table this morning. The chairs are coming in the next few days, so I'm very excited about that.
I was like, oh my God, he's starting it already. So it was funny, Doug. We didn't really know how to approach this going forward. If this was going to be like a stand-up routine, and we're like, you know what? Let's just sit down and let's just,
let's just vibe, dude.
Let's
We're
just
vibe
vibe,
it,
true.
you know.
I like
These
that.
are great times. Well,
He
not
tells me
for
vibe,
yeah,
dude. I like that.
sorry to cut you off.
No, please talk. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying,
The
this
stage
is
is yours.
I'm feeling great, dude. I built a table today. I'm feeling good about that. I'm talking to like 3 girls on Hinge right now. It's all like shout out to Tori. What's up with that? What else did I do in this quarantine, man? Oh, I painted a bookshelf. I broke the bookshelf and then I repainted it to make it look beautiful. How's your quarantine been, dude?
It's been quite interesting. Tori, you got to take him out on a date now. How do you date now during the social distancing quarantine age?
Well, I mean, since I've been on like semen retention, these creative juices have been flowing because no one's like banging right now. Can I say that?
You can say that.
That's the last time I'll say it. I just wanted to test
You
my
can't just drop
waters.
the F word here.
I just wanted to. Okay, I won't. I just wanted to test the waters with you. But yeah, dude, everyone's like online dating now, or like, I mean, that's about it. What do you do? Like shout from your window? I mean, you could shout from your window, but I'm not gonna do that.
But online dating, like, isn't the whole point of online dating to meet with the person afterwards?
Yeah, but like, when is this quarantine gonna be uplifted? Like, we have no idea. That's why I'm just like dating like via Hinge. That's the only one I do. Shout out to Hinge. I'm like selling out.
I was gonna say, Hinge, you better start advertising with us. Now, let me,
Can I sell out real quickly too with
can,
other?
uh,
I'm wearing
floor is
I'm
yours, bro.
wearing a Relwyn jacket. I'm wearing On Running shoes. And
I was gonna say that. I love the color.
these pants are from Brooks Brothers. I think I stay
Okay.
with the classics.
I like
But
that. So let me ask you this now. Actually, a funny story for you. I was looking at a report this morning. They say that pornography is doing very, very well these days.
yeah, not for me because like I said, I'm on the semen retention. So like I cut porn out of my life about a year ago, dude, and like things are fantastic because of it.
That is.
I would recommend everyone who's listening to this to cut it out. Stop the porn. Look each other in the eye or some.
Oh,
Sorry,
okay.
I didn't mean that.
That's all right. We're gonna
Whoa,
bleep that.
that's
We're gonna
gonna bleep
bleep that.
that.
We have this. So, talk to me about a comedian's life during a pandemic.
Comedian's life is like beautiful for me, dude, because I work in like a very amazing 9-to-5 job. I don't want to give it away, but I'm like rich during the day, and then I get to like do open mics and shows at night with like all the really nice clothes. So I think
Cool.
I figured life out.
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't know that comedians get rich and they work 9 to 5.
Well, not all of them, but that's why I'm unique.
I like that. I
Yeah.
like that. Now, you do run. Is it at Willie McBride's?
Yes.
Which is on 6th and Grand Street, I believe.
Correct.
Correct, yes. They have a comedy night, every Wednesday when it's non-isolation, and you do run that. How do you go about running and finding comedians for the show every Wednesday?
So I run the Nasty Show at Willie McBride's. It's a monthly show every Monday at 8. That's when I get the room for free. God bless the people at Willie McBride's. And all I do is like I just book the funniest people that I know. Like I book a show that I want to watch that I wouldn't want to pay for. So just like when the Nasty Show is back up and running, which I don't know if it will because like stand-up comedy's like dead.
That's
But I
unfortunate.
have a solution to that in a second. But I'm gonna tell you more about the show.
Go ahead,
The
please.
show's great. That's all I had to say about it.
But now what's the solution?
Oh, I'm launching my own comedy network. Okay,
Wow.
I'm
Is
very
this like
excited.
a YouTube thing?
No, it's bigger than YouTube, bigger than any entertainment industry that whatever you see in the industry right now. Mine is gonna be so cool, and I'm gonna have the funniest people on the network. Can I name a few of them to give them a shout out right
you
now?
can 100%. The
All
floor
right.
is yours. How
So
many times did I say
I'm
that?
about to announce the future stars of tomorrow, okay?
Doug
You got-
Caffrey.
Yeah, well, Doug Caffrey, yes. Doug Caffrey, the Michael Jordan. He's the Michael Jordan of the crew.
Oh,
You got
MVP, huh?
you got Steve Gerrard, you got Tony Zarrett, you got Jesse Eichner, Jeremiah Shore, Greg and Rob of Staten Island. You got Ryan Papaznian. Who else do I have on that list, dude? Oh, Joe Gorman, and I feel like I'm forgetting someone else. But and Hans Kim. He lives in a van.
Oh, really? Down by
Yeah.
the river?
No, in Queens.
Oh, in Queens. Oh, is that a true story?
Yeah, no, really, yeah.
Yeah?
It was like the Verrazano.
Oh, is that, yeah?
I think that's
is,
Queens.
Is the van drivable or just one of those stationary,
Well,
no tires with
it's-
cinder
it's-
blocks?
It's white, and that's all I have on that. He showed me the inside of it once. It's weird.
So, like, does he live with anybody else in that van?
No, it's just him.
Oh, okay, good. Because, like, how do you, like, social distance in a van if you're living in there?
Oh, I mean, he's been alone for quite some time in that van, so I
see.
think he's been social distancing for a while now.
Oh, okay.
We can all learn a thing or two from Hans.
Yeah, Hans, yeah. I'm sure he's got internet and everything hooked up in there, right?
I think so. He might be in Nevada right now. Who
Oh,
knows?
really? Oh, so it is drivable.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry.
That's too funny.
Oh, man, I'm
So,
silly.
Well, this is great. I think we've never had this comedy sketch. I mean, sometimes when Josh Sotomayor Einstein's on our political analyst, he could be laughable, but not in the way this is. So.
No. Josh's last name is Einstein. I just learned that.
Did you? I
Yeah.
thought you like knew each other though. You know?
No, we just live together. We don't talk.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's funny.
Too funny. So now let me ask you this. Now,
Yeah.
so any of your comedians who you've seen at the Nasty Show, and we'll put the information of the Nasty Show in the graphic below, have they made it out to, let's say, Comedy Central or into any type of acting careers or so on and so forth?
I mean, I've done some background work before. Like, I've done some stand-in work. I was a stand-in on the movie The Purge. I don't know, the last Purge movie.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
they killed me.
Is that chopped you in half?
No, I was on an ATM machine and they put a corkscrew through my head.
Ah.
But that was The Purge. The other comics dude, they're going to be, I don't know what work they've done. I know Steve Gerrard's like a really talented director, actor-director. Hans lives in a van. Tony Zarrett has a big following on Instagram. He's super funny. Dude, all these guys are killers. And I'm so happy to bring the, I don't know, this like new energy of comedy to the city of Hoboken because I think we deserve it. And the world, by the way.
That's great. And how are the audiences been at the Nasty Show?
Oh, everyone loves the comedy that I booked. Dude. My comedy is for like old people, young people, boys and girls, everyone you can think of.
But they are over 18, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I'm just curious, what's the cost for anybody who wants to see the show when this pandemic is
It's
over?
a $5 admission ticket to the Nasty Show, but like I said, stand-up comedy's dead. So my network is going to be this. My first show is going to launch for free on YouTube. Then it's going to be maybe $5 or $8 a month going forward from that. But it's going to be so cool. I don't want to give away too much.
All right, we can't. We have a few seconds here, and you brought this up, and it's certainly more of a serious topic, and that's like stand-up comedy's dead. I
Yeah.
hope you're not serious about that.
No, it's probably dead, dude.
Oh, why is that, you think?
Because no one wants to go see live entertainment. Netflix killed everything that's good about this world, okay?
Cancel your
and
Netflix
I'm bringing
accounts.
it back in a big, delicious, sexy way, man.
Oh, sexy too, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Is that a Tori on Hinge?
Yeah. I forgot about her.
Exactly. That day ain't coming, I don't think, buddy.
No, it will. It'll come.
I mean, what about these other two you're talking to?
Oh, they're nice. They're very nice
You don't know
people.
their names, don't you?
No, I just don't want to say them on air.
Ah, very good. Well, Doug Caffrey, who's a local comedian here in Hoboken, this has been great. I hope to have you on in the future.
Oh, thanks, Peter. Thanks for having me.
Keep up the good work, brother.
Thanks so much.
All
You
right,
as well.
folks, when we come back, we're going to be live from Tony Baloney's. You're not going to want to miss it. We'll be back. Peter Biancamano, your hostess with the mostest of the Pulse with Peter B. Folks, don't forget to go on our Facebook page by typing in the Pulse with Peter B in your search bar and like and follow us there. We're constantly updating that page, and you're not going to want to miss any new information, especially when we're not filming. And also, for all you grammars out there, follow us at our Instagram page at The Pulse with Peter B. We'll see you soon. Welcome back to the show, and as I mentioned, we are here at Tony Baloney's on First Street. We'll put the address right here for you, and we're going to have an exclusive interview with Mike Houck. He's been on the show before. He's an energetic guy. We absolutely love him, and he's a guy that gives back to the community greatly. He's here that he's going to be speaking about that. You're not going to want to miss it. Actually, Mike is just pulling up right now. Let's go to him. All right, I'm here with my man Mike Houck, who's the owner of Tony Baloney's. Of course, Mike, what's going on, brother?
Nothing. Just working hard, going crazy.
Exactly. So I have to ask you the $1 million question. You're one of the only small businesses that are open on all of First Street over here. Dramatic decrease in business in the last 6 weeks, or what?
It's just different kind of business. Like we're super busy on delivery, on pickup, stuff like that. We're now shipping nationwide through Goldbelly, which has helped things. We're doing a lot of stuff in terms of like donations and kits and meal kits. So we're keeping busy. And, you know, the name of the game right now is just making sure that we can employ our employees, and we're paying our food costs, and we're paying as much rent as we can. So we're lucky in that regard. But, you know, the profit position, you know, of us, you know, the potential of us making profit or having a sustainable business isn't really the goal right now. It's just to keep people fed, make people happy, keep our employees safe and happy, and have a good time doing it. So, you know, I think we're meeting those goals right now, at least.
So that's great. So you're saying that you're shipping all over the place. These are frozen pizzas?
Yeah, we oh, UPS is here. Oh. Yo, UPS is here.
We're not stopping, folks. Let's keep going.
But it's like that's just one, you know, it's a little part of it. It's really not shipping. You know, we're shipping pizza and subs and stuff, but it's not really. You know, the main goal right now is just staying alive, keeping our employees employed, feeding people, making them happy, and then we do these Sunday virtual classes at 5 o'clock. That are just fun, and we just go crazy. And I dressed up like Tire King last week, and I have my kids with me. We just have fun, and that's the goal. Just, you know, keep everything light, keep it fun, have fun, be silly, goofy. You know.
That's awesome. So, Mike, you know, and folks, we are here at Tony Baloney's. This is a live show. As you can see, he's got to do his work, man. All right, there you go. So, Mike, talk to me.
You gotta make sure people are taken care of, and my guys, you know, and my guys are working their butts off. You know, we're understaffed. We lost like half our staff because a lot of people are scared to work right now, and they have families that, you know, they live with their parents or, you know, whatever. They don't want to potentially get people sick.
So, talk to me. Your two other locations, Jersey City and Atlantic City. Come on through, UPS. Don't worry. We're just talking to the man here with the plan. So they do have two other locations in Jersey City and Atlantic City, and I want to ask Mike if they're still actually going strong, and are they still open, your other two locations?
Yeah, I mean, the name of the game right now is that we're keeping alive, we're staying open. My Atlantic City location's rocking out. They're actually, we just got, we're donating 120 kits to the Boys and Girls Club of Atlantic City, pizza making kits. So on Sunday, everyone can do a virtual class, which is awesome. And then Long Branch is holding strong. They're doing their thing. They're donating tons of pizza, and still keeping busy. Jersey City store is very busy with delivery and doing everything. Hoboken, we're keeping busy.
And talk to me about the setup over here. It looks like you kind of like completely changed your whole ambiance.
The thing is, are you picking up? You already told them? All right, cool. So the thing is, and by the way, I just got off. I did a Peloton for 30 minutes quickly on a bike. Then I ran to do a delivery at a hospital. Then I ran back to get my kids. So I'm like winded, out of breath, going nuts. But basically, we harvest our own olive oil in Sicily every October and November. So we sell that up front along with Tony Baloney aprons for the pizza classes for kids that can design them. We have our fresh mozzarella in the front cooler. We have par-baked pizza and fresh pasta, which we're making more. We sold out today. And it just, you know, when people walk up, oh my God, I didn't know you guys sell sauces or mozzarella, and it's just convenient and it helps out.
Easy. Now, talk to me about these classes that you're doing every Sunday. I know on Instagram. I know you did a little mozzarella making. Maybe my pops can get on there. You know,
your pops is the master. He's a living legend. This guy. When this thing broke out, the first call that I made was to you because I called the shop and no one picked up, and I said, your mother and father are national treasures. You know, they got to stay safe. If I got to work the register, help them out, please let me do it.
And they appreciate that.
And I even told them if they're shutting down for some reason because they're nervous about customers, I'll stop making mozzarella, and then they can make it for me, and I'll buy it off. In fact, they're national treasures.
There's a negotiation right on the show here.
Straight up. I mean, the best mozzarella, I think. I don't know.
But also talk to me about some of your other items. I mean, like you said, people didn't know you had sauces. People didn't know, and we have to get to this right now. The Tiger King pizza. You know, Joe Exotic. Everybody's talking about him, correct? I mean, what gave you this idea?
I mean, I've been thinking about this for a while, and I watched the show, and I was just like blown away by how ridiculous the whole thing is. And I'm going through, and to be perfectly honest, I'm in the shop late night after work with my manager, and we're sitting down. We opened up a bottle of mezcal plus a 6-pack of beer. We drank both of them between the two of us. We were smashed, and we started hysterical laughing and about this Tiger King show. And I was like, yo, let's make a Tiger King pizza. And like till 2 a.m, all of a sudden, boom, it comes out, and the pizza's got a mullet. He's got whatever it is. Then we did a square pie, and I did the stripes on it with balsamic and whatever, and it was hilarious. And we couldn't stop laughing till 2 a.m. So the next day, I was like, yo, you know what? F it. Let's put it on the menu. We put it on the menu. It's been selling like crazy, and it's funny. And then this past class, I shaved my face with a mustache, and I had the whole thing going down. I had bangs that my buddy Mark from Vintage on First took 6.
Keeping it local, huh?
Yeah, took 6 Barbies, cut their hair off, made bangs for me in a mullet, and I dressed up like the Tiger King, Doe Exotic, not Joe Exotic.
Oh, I said Joe. Oh, that's
No.
Joe is the guy.
And then we did this calzone making class where
Meatballs too, right?
we've done meatball making class, we've done calzone, mozzarella, pizza. This week is gnocchi, and I dressed up and I had my 2 boys. I was petting them like little tiger cubs the entire time. F. Carol Baskin, all that fun stuff, and it was a blast. And we had 20,000 people tune in to watch this go down, which is ridiculous that they did. And we sold, I don't know, maybe 800 or so kits, which means every kit that we sell, we then donate a pizza to a first responder, a police officer, you name it. I shouted at these guys last week. It said, lunches on me. Every UPS driver in the state, come by the shop.
Thanks for your service, UPS.
Yeah, all day. These guys, look at this. I mean, come on. These guys are, and people bought 800 plus kits sold, and we basically are now donating 800 plus pizzas to people that need it. So everyone wins. You have fun with your family. We keep our employees busy. First responders get free pizza. My food reps keep business coming, and it's just a fun thing to do. I mean, look at this mustache. I can't. My wife won't kiss me. My kids are scared of me. Customers don't recognize me. It's ridiculous, but it's all in the name of good. So.
And Mike, you really, really are, a gem to this community. I think you do. And I'm dead serious. He's at every single one of these fundraisers, whether that's Mutz Fest, Pizza Fest. It goes on and on and on. He's constantly donating. Come and see him on First Street. Tony Baloney's, or in Jersey City, or in Atlantic City, wherever you are. Talk to me again. This Doe Exotic prosciutto. What's on there?
Yeah. So actually, it's a base of mozzarella on a thick crust, like a Sicilian crust, that we put the pan in olive oil, pre-cook it. Cheese goes on. Then we put prosciutto down. We then put some vodka sauce like Tiger Stripes. We bake it, pull it out, put some of the balsamic honey reduction on it, put it back in the oven, comes out. It is a beautiful pie. We may even switch it up. We did it one time with a dry sweet coppa, which is similar like a prosciutto, has a little bite to it. It was like 10 times better, so maybe like tiger bite, We'll switch it up a little bit, but it was just good. And we had it here. We got some samples sent of some. We don't really carry prosciutto in the shop, and we got some samples sent. Next thing you know, we're eating it and making the pizza with it. And I'm like, yo, we should be carrying this. This is crazy. I mean, it's expensive to do with the prosciutto or even the dry coppa, but at this point, who cares? We're keeping alive, making people happy. I don't care. The financial side of the responsibility of the business, to me, it's not even about profit. It's about, let's keep it going and have some fun and do it.
I love that. Well, Mike.
Later.
Exactly. Mike Halleck, owner of Tony Baloney's here on First Street in Hoboken. You're not going to want to. You're going to come on and try this dough pizza. You think we can go back in and maybe see how you make it and all that good stuff?
Yeah. You know what? After this thing finishes up, and all this COVID is done, you're going to come to pizza. We're going to make it together. Your pops and your mom are going to come in too. We'll all make it together. He'll make the mozzarella for it. We'll get it going.
I love it. Mike Halleck, thanks for joining us. Folks, join us next week.
He's the man.
No, he's the man. For the pulse on everything you need to know. Have a great week, everybody.